Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about this one. It's Dexcom One. But is it any good? Yes, welcome back. It's been a while, I know. It always is a while. We're going to talk about this one today. It's Dexcom One. I've been using this one for the last couple of weeks, as you might know if you follow me on Twitter and other social medias. I got the option of this one because I wasn't all that happy with this. It was okay, it was, it was working most of the time, but then too many times it stopped working. It was giving me values which weren't the same as my blood sugar by a long way. Yes. I mentioned that to my consultant at my last diabetes checkup, and he suggested, "Okay, we've got this. Do you want to give that a go?" Sure, why not? I've never used a Dexcom One before. I've had Dexcom G5 and G6, maybe even G4, but that seems a long time ago. It is a long time ago. And I kind of got along with them okay, but it wasn't wonderful. And then new tech came out, and then the NHS started to fund things. So I haven't used Dexcom in a while, maybe 4 years or so. So I was a little hesitant about saying yes to Dexcom One. This thing is a 10-day sensor, and that's all I got. That's all I have. I've used it. It's done. I've had 10 days worth of Dexcom One. And now I need to make the decision, do I keep it for the foreseeable future? Do I go with NHS funding with Dexcom One? Or do I move back to the dark side? No, let's talk about it a little bit. In this, you don't get an awful lot. There's a box opening video. You'll get the basics, and you'll get a little booklet, a little welcome quick start guide, and that's all you need. You do need an app. You're going to need to download the Dexcom One app or the Dexcom app. Maybe it's just a Dexcom app. You're going to need an account, so you have to do the whole sign-up thing. But once that's done, it's simple to set up. It's quite intuitive. You get this step-by-step thing, and maybe 5 or 10 minutes, you're good to go. When you're good to go, inserting the sensor, super easy to do as well. Follow the little welcome booklet thing, the little guide thing, whatever that is. You won't make any mistakes if you do that. It didn't actually hurt, which is odd, because although it's been a while since I've used Dexcom, my mind is telling me this is going to sting, and it didn't hurt actually at all. The last time I used a CGM that didn't hurt was the Glucomen Day CGM, and sometimes you just didn't know it had gone in. Is it in yet? But same with this one. So that was cool. That was a good start. However, get comfortable. When it's in, you're gonna need to wait a while. You're gonna need to wait 2 hours. So the warm-up for Dexcom One takes 2 hours, and most of these things take an hour. I know, and that's a long time. It seems a long time. I don't know why it needs so long. It does. That's the way it is. Put a movie on, watch TV, do what you need to do. Keep your phone within 6 meters because it needs to keep that Bluetooth thing going on. I don't know whether that's the case when it's still warming up, but I just kept it by and watched a long film. When it had warmed up, cool, it matched my actual blood glucose. The first 5 or 10 minutes, the little chart, yeah, bobbing along beautifully, just like my blood glucose was. Took a couple of little dots of blood out of there, and it was quite close. It was within 0.5 millimoles. Fine, I can absolutely work with that. Didn't think anything of it. A little while later, I just felt a little bit uneasy. So again, checked my blood glucose out of the finger, and it was almost hypo. Now, Dexcom was saying the same thing, almost hypo, and was just starting to edge down a little bit. Fine, it's still matching, it's still following suit with my blood glucose. I stopped the hypo before that started, and My blood sugar came up slightly and leveled out. Perfect, that's good. Dexcom One didn't. It kept going down, 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 and numbers became letters. So eventually it just started saying low. Yeah, but I wasn't low. My BG was 6 or 7 or something at that stage. And I think low is something like 2 or less on Dexcom. Ugh. So it picked up a hypo was coming, but then it just kept going. Okay, it's new. It's only, what, a couple of hours old, 2 hours warm up, maybe an hour later when that happened. So yeah, it's a few hours old. It's a new sensor, so no need to panic at this stage. I just left it. What I did do at that stage was put on another one of these. So I got 2 CGMs going at once. On the leg, on the tummy, loads of tech. Got a pump on as well, so, you know, covered in it. Absolutely showered in diabetes tech. I put that one on as well because I wanted to match, see how my blood glucose was going to match with both sensors at the same time, and they were both sort of new. Anyway, we're going to focus on Dexcom. About 5 or 6 hours later, it's still doing the same thing. There's not a huge gap between the Dexcom One BG and my actual BG. It caught up, but it wasn't that close. It was still maybe 4 millimoles away. So okay, I turned the alerts off, turned the alarms off, and it was bedtime. Okay, off we go. Wake up the next morning, 8 or 9 hours later. It's better. You know what? It caught up overnight. I think it was just tired. I think it just needed a good nap. So what are we? 8 or 9 hours sleep. A few hours before that, maybe we could go 12, 13, 14 hours, something like that, before the sensor was good and was working, and was matching my blood glucose consistently. That wasn't just a one-time thing. I checked that in the morning after waking up and all the way into the afternoon, maybe 5 times, and it was perfect. It was fine. It had caught up. Yes, it's working at last. So it was fine after that. For 10 days, it's a 10-day sensor, so the next 9.5 or something days, it was fine for the whole life of the sensor, which is good. I don't mind waiting a few hours. I don't mind waiting half a day if it's going to work after that. That's okay. I can work with that. I know maybe some people want it to be instantly good, and maybe that isn't a thing. This isn't a G6 or G5 or G7. This is a Dexcom One, and it's quite not basic as such, but it doesn't have all the features and functions that you might see in a Dexcom G6. Maybe not even in a G7. It compares to this in terms of cost and in terms of the features that you can expect. One thing I'll say about the Dexcom One is there's nowhere to leave a note. So if the sensor's being a little wonky and it's not working, and you want to put a note in there that just says to your HCPs, this sensor is garbage and it's not working and I'm using my finger sticks again. Also, maybe you want to leave in more sensible notes, such as dinner time boluses, what you did for hypos, what you did for hypers, and just look at that sort of data. Maybe that's a good way of using notes. Don't use them like I do. So there's that. That's one thing. So I mentioned the 2-hour warm-up. It's a little bit longer. No big deal. The adhesive, it's like super glue. Wow. After day 10, peeling that thing off my tummy, off my abdomen, the pain. And I absolutely lost some tummy hairs. It's like glue, that stuff. But adhesive is glue. But it's like super glue. I'm peeling that off, left and a good sort of that sized pink mark on my tummy. It went away the following day, and that's okay. It's not, again, it's not a big deal, but it just doesn't look good, and it's a bit sore as well afterwards. When I used Glucom Day CGM, that adhesive was amazing, like magic. That stuff just, it stuck, it stayed stuck, and it didn't hurt when you pulled it off. So maybe Dexcom could find out what that adhesive is and start using that, because that was good stuff. So I'm feeling positive anyway, despite me complaining and telling you about all the negatives. I'm feeling positive about Dexcom One. It worked well, but I've only used one sensor. So, but now I have the choice. Do I want to commit to that? For the time being, I can switch back to the dark side. I can switch back to that one if I want to. So I know that sometimes works. That's okay. But I think I'm going to go with Dexcom One. I think I'm going to use that for the foreseeable future. I'm quite happy with that 10-day sensor. It worked well. So I'm going to start using that until it stops working or something changes, or I'm just not happy anymore. But I don't see that happening. I'm more confident in it after using it, and feel happy with its functions. It just does what it does, and that's enough for me. I don't need anything else. Now in the UK, these things are, both of those things should be available as a choice on the NHS. So if you don't use any tech, and that's going to be a tiny percentage of you, but you want to use tech, ask to use both. Have a test of both of them and find out which one works best for you. Because I firmly believe with all diabetes technology, it's a horses for courses thing. Some tech works well for some people and it doesn't with others. I don't know why that is. We're not all the same, are we? And I guess that might be why. So find out which one works for you. Use both of them if you can. You should be given the choice of either one of them. And if you're not, make some noise, because that's kind of standard care now. Okay, so that's it for now. That's Dexcom One. If you want to see what's in the box, I'm going to put a link down below and you'll see an unboxing shorts video. God, such an influencer, aren't I? That's what influencers do, isn't it? Like, watch me unbox something. Isn't that fascinating? Watch that video if you want to find out what's in there. Yeah, it's kind of fascinating. It's less than a minute long. I'll be back soon. Thanks for watching. Down below you'll see lots of other stuff which you can tap on, such as a like button. There's a little notification bell as well. You can sub to the channel, you can leave a comment, do all of that stuff. It's good. It doesn't cost a penny. Why wouldn't you? Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.